Yes, Claude needs FFmpeg and Whisper. No, that is not the interesting part. yt-dlp pulls the source. Whisper transcribes it. FFmpeg cuts it. OBS records the proof. ImageMagick makes the cards. Playwright grabs the screenshots. 6 tools, and you still do not have a show. You have a very capable chat window. Here is the real claim. A content pipeline is not prompts. It is artifacts between stages. Files one stage writes, and the next stage reads. By the end of this episode, one folder holds a research packet, packed repo context, word-level transcripts, scene lists, a rough cut timeline, channel memory, and a reusable thumbnail workflow. 10 open-source tools build that system. The baseline is not the video. The folder is. The baseline gives Claude hands. The 10 tools give it a production system. Hands first. yt-dlp, Whisper, FFmpeg, OBS, ImageMagick, Playwright. 6 tools, 90 seconds. yt-dlp pulls source material and metadata into the episode folder, so every source lands as files. Whisper transcribes the audio locally, and the episode gets a searchable timeline. FFmpeg and FFprobe handle cuts, crops, frame extraction, and stream inspection. Every edit decision becomes a file Claude can verify. OBS records the actual run, so the proof is footage, not a claim. ImageMagick scripts repeatable title cards and contact sheets, the same command every time. Playwright takes screenshots and checks pages, which means Claude can see what it just built. Download, transcribe, cut, record, render, verify. That whole loop already runs. These 6 are the floor. The episode is what gets built on top. Most content agents fail before writing starts because their inputs are trash. Garbage pages in, hallucinated script out, so the intake layer comes first. Firecrawl and Docling. Firecrawl. About 130,000 stars. AGPL licensed. It searches, crawls, and scrapes the web into clean markdown or structured JSON, claiming 96% coverage, including JavaScript-heavy pages a plain request can't touch. Claude points it at docs, launch posts, and competitor pages, and gets back one research packet it can actually quote. Docling. Over 60,000 stars, MIT licensed, a Linux Foundation AI project. It passes more than a dozen formats. PDFs, Word docs, decks, scanned images, and reconstructs page layout, reading order, and table structure, fully local, OCR included. Dense reports become structured episode context instead of copy-paste soup, both right into the research folder. The proof is simple. One web page plus one PDF go in, 2 clean source notes come out. Now the script has receipts before a single word gets written. Stop asking Claude to explain open source tools from a README. Repomix. About 26,000 stars. MIT license. Packs an entire repository into one AI-ready file in a single command. 4 formats. XML, Markdown, JSON, or plain text. Now Claude reads the actual source. Real files, architecture, package scripts, working examples. Instead of marketing copy. Repomix counts tokens per file, respects your git ignore, and runs secretlint to catch credentials before they land in a prompt. A compress mode passes code with tree sitter and keeps classes, functions, and interfaces while cutting token count. The pipeline move. Pack the tool you are covering, drop the XML output in the repo context folder, then ask Claude what the tool actually does. The answer comes back grounded in code. That is how a tool segment stops sounding like a press release. A weekly content pipeline needs source flow, not random bookmarks. RSSHub is the fix. About 45,000 stars, AGPL3 licensed, and it generates RSS feeds for sites that refuse to publish them. The repo calls it the world's largest RSS network, over 5,000 instances worldwide, or self-host one container and own your whole intake layer. Here's the pipeline job. Claude keeps a routes file, tool launches, changelogs, repo releases, creator accounts. RSSHub turns each route into a clean feed. Every poll, new entries land in the intake folder, and Claude writes each one into an episode candidate card. Title, source, why it matters, score. No more guessing what this week's video is. The queue already knows. Reading the web is not the same as operating the web. Tool 5. Browser use. About 98,000 GitHub stars. MIT license, and it gives the agent a browser action layer instead of another scraper. The new beta agent runs a Rust core under the Python API. The model gets a real action space, persistent tools, and recovery loops inspired by coding agents. The team benchmarks it across 100 real-world browser tasks, and the benchmark itself is open source. In this pipeline, browser use does the receipts run. Open the page, click through the source, get past the cookie banner, capture the screenshot, and write every action to a run log Claude can replay. Summarize this page is reading. Go collect the receipts is operating. This tool is the operating layer. Claude cannot pick good clips if it only has a transcript blob. Plain Whisper timestamps are utterance level. They can drift by whole seconds. WhisperX fixes that. 22,000 stars. BSD 2-clause license. It runs batched inference at 70 times real-time on Whisper Large v2, force aligns every word against a phoneme model, trims hallucinations with voice activity detection, and labels speakers with diarization. The pipeline gets a word-level transcript and clean captions. Exact quote timing, speaker labels, no mid-word cuts. That covers the words. PySceneDetect covers the picture. About 5,000 stars, BSD 3-clause. It ships 3 detectors. Content detection for fast cuts, adaptive for fast camera movement, threshold for fades, and writes every boundary to a CSV with frame numbers and timecodes. Raw footage becomes a scene list of time-stamped candidate edit points. Words plus scene boundaries equals edit intelligence. Claude crosses the two. A strong claim in the transcript, a clean scene break around it, and out comes the payoff artifact. A clip recommendation with a start, an end, and a reason. That is an assistant editor, not a transcript. What does a real editor actually want back from Claude? A timeline. OpenTimelineIO, Tool 8, models exactly that. Clips, gaps, durations, media references, all structured interchange data. It references media, it never contains it. Pure edit decisions. About 1900 stars, Apache 2.0, and film lineage. Built at Pixar, now an Academy Software Foundation project. Claude's job. Convert the clip selects into a rough cut timeline in the Timelines folder. Adapters carry that same file into Final Cut Pro XML, AAF, or a plain EDL. The repo says it is natively supported in most non-linear editors. That is the handoff. Before this file, Claude had an opinion. After it, the edit exists. If every episode starts from a blank chat, you do not have a channel system. Tool 9 is Chroma. About 28,000 stars. Apache 2.0 with a Rust core. It is a local search database. 1 pip install, and the core API is 4 functions. You add documents, you query them. Tokenizing, embedding, and indexing happen automatically. The pipeline job. Channel memory. Every artifact this system produces, scripts, titles, source notes, scene lists, edit decisions, gets embedded into collections with metadata for episode and outcome. Next episode, Claude queries before it writes. Ask for prior takes on workflow over prompt. It returns the takes, the titles that carried them, the clips that proved them. No starting over. No drift. Memory turns a one-off video into a repeatable show. ComfyUI takes the last slot for one reason. The workflow file. About 117,000 stars, GPL version 3, and the unit of work is a node graph. Model, prompt, upscale, save, stored as plain JSON you can diff and rerun. The receipt. Every PNG it generates embeds the full workflow, seeds included. Drag last week's thumbnail onto the canvas, and the exact graph that produced it reloads. That is version control for visuals. In the pipeline, Claude owns one thumbnail workflow. A prompt matrix feeds title and style variants through the same nodes. 3 numbered thumbnails land in the assets folder. ComfyUI only re-executes nodes that changed, so swapping title text reuses the cached base render. The graph is the asset. Rerun it. Improve one node. Ship a better thumbnail next week. The model did not become a content pipeline. The folder did. 1 episode directory, 11 stage folders, 10 tools writing into them. Walk it. Sources holds the pulled media. Research holds Firecrawl's page packets and Docling's past documents. Repo context holds whole repositories packed flat by Repomix. Intake holds the RSSHub feed queue. Browser holds run logs and screenshots from browser use. Transcripts holds word-level timing from WhisperX. Cuts holds the scene list from PySceneDetect. Timelines holds the OpenTimelineIO rough cut. Memory holds every prior decision in Chroma. Assets holds the ComfyUI thumbnail workflow and its variants. QA holds the receipts. Every stage writes an artifact. Claude reads the state file, runs the next tool, writes the next artifact. No stage trusts a vibe. Every stage trusts a file. And memory persists, so episode 4 starts smarter than episode 3. The system compounds. Drop the tools we missed in the comments. The stack is the conversation.